For those of you that don't know me, it's probably most of you, my name's Christina. I just recently hit Diamond last month and Sapphire the month before. So it's been a little bit nuts around here, but I'm really excited to get to be here. I live here in Georgia, middle Georgia actually. And so I've born and raised, been here my whole entire life. And so I'm a school teacher by trade. I taught 4th grade, regular and special ed for 7 years at the same school district that I graduated from. And I always, hey guys, okay, I'm in the right spot, good. I grew up, first of all, y'all, listen, my bookshelves aren't normally empty, but we're moving in like 7 days. So, that is so distracting to me. But anyways, we're moving in 7 days. So not only did I go Diamond last month, but I also sold our house and bought a new house. It's just crazy. Anyways, school teacher by trade, thought that I would always teach, but it did not take me very long in the classroom to realize that it did not matter how hard I taught or how much I loved my students or how creative I was. Y'all, you can't make any more money because you teach harder. Right? You're kind of roped off at what the state of Georgia says you can make. I do have 2 grad degrees in education, so I was making decent, but I have a lot of kids. And so there's a lot of things that I want to do with my kids, and it all requires money. There's no way to just teach harder and save money for a vacation or show up early and save for Christmas. So I was definitely open to the idea of some income. But I wasn't willing to sacrifice what was most important. So many teachers, fun. I wasn't willing to sacrifice what was most important. And for me, that was the few hours that I had in the evenings with my kids. I have kids that range from almost 16 to just turned 2. So they're everywhere in between. And I wanted to still be the best mom I could be and the best teacher I could be and the best wife I could be, all these things. And I also wanted to increase my contribution to the family financially. So that's where Plexus showed up on scene. I have a great health testimony with Plexus. No one ever asks me for it because y'all, generally, people don't care what Plexus has done for me. They want to know, do you like me? Can you help me? And can I trust you? So I say that to say, if you don't have a health testimony yet with Plexus, that's okay. Most people don't care anyway. But to give you some backstory, I was on 7 different blood pressure medications for over 10 years. I delivered my first daughter at 24 weeks. She was 1 pound, 5 ounces because my blood pressure, which had never been elevated, all of a sudden just kind of went nuts. I had a grand mal seizure. My kidney and liver started shutting down. They delivered her at 24 weeks. And I was in the NICU for over a week. She was in the NICU for 4 months. And typically when you have a baby, because of high blood pressure in pregnancy, delivering the baby will resolve that problem. And with me, it did not. So for 10 years, like I said, it was just up and down all the time. And I don't mean like a little elevated. I mean, I would be in the hospital and it would be 215 over 108. And so the doctors really couldn't find a rhyme or reason. They basically just kind of said, good luck. Like, here's your cocktail of medicine. Good luck. And so I did not love that, obviously. I was also on anxiety medication. I think that sometimes anxiety meds come with the teaching degree. I was on medicine for restless legs. And y'all, we work out. We eat well. There was really no reason for this to happen. And so I started with Plexus when I was 30 years old because I felt like an old lady. My kids made fun of me because I had like one of those pill containers that said like Monday AM, Monday PM. It was really bizarre. But I did not want to live that way. And so I started paying attention. I started recognizing that gut health was this thing that I kept hearing about. And I reached out to a friend and said, hey, why is Plexus helping with so many different things that seem unrelated? And that's where I kind of dove into the idea of gut health, blood sugar balance. That was all in with the products. So 6 months in, we had cut down half of my blood pressure meds. By the 1 year mark, I was off of all of them. I've had 2 babies since being on Plexus, both full term. Nursed them a combination of about 3.5 years. So I just feel, I'm almost 36 and I am keeping up with my kids and just kind of really to not sound like braggadocious, just living the dream. I really am. And it's because I recognized an opportunity. Here's what I recognize, and here's what I want you guys to know. This isn't even on my list, y'all. Anyways, I recognize an opportunity because people are suffering. People are struggling all around you. We are the sickest, most overweight, and most over-medicated nation on the planet. And so when I recognized all the things that Plexus could help with, I felt extremely selfish to not go tell somebody. I didn't care that I didn't have RA. I knew people who did. So why would I not share? I don't have diabetes, but I know people who do. I didn't struggle with migraines, but I knew people who did. And so I just felt a responsibility to help them if I could. That took away the feeling of, I don't want to be a salesperson, or I don't want to bother them. Y'all, listen, if someone's house was on fire and you had a fire extinguisher, you would not care. And that is 100% how I feel about these products. I know that people's houses, their bodies, are on fire. And if I don't intervene, lots of them will burn up. So I just boldly started sharing. I have never looked back. It took me about 8 months to match my teaching income. And 4 years later, here we are. Went Sapphire in April, Diamond in May. Totally been worth every single thing I had to learn, every single hurdle I had to climb. It has not been easy, but y'all, it's not complicated. This is a very simple business. It really starts with just a decision. I'm going to do this. And here's why I think a decision is so important. So you guys probably know about the 4-minute mile. Roger Bannister, who's an athlete, he was a runner, and many, many years ago, I believe it was in the 60s, he really wanted to break the 4-minute mile barrier. It had never been done. Scientists said it could not be done. And runners believed him. Like, people tried and tried and tried to beat this 4-minute mile, and it wasn't happening. No one could beat it. But Roger believed he could. And so he just kept pursuing that dream. And here's what I want you to know. He did break the 4-minute mile. He did not break it in the conditions that scientists said. Scientists said it would have to be a perfectly clear 68-degree day. He would have to be on a perfectly hard clay track. He would have to be running in front of millions of fans to kind of keep him motivated. None of that was true. He beat the 4-minute mile on a dreary day on a wet street with very few people watching. But he beat it. After he beat it, within the next year, something like 15 people beat it. Now, over 1,000 runners have beat the 4-minute mile. And guess what hasn't changed? Running. Running hasn't changed. Time hasn't changed. And the length of a mile has not changed. What changed was people's belief that this could happen. They saw someone else do it, and that inspired them that, oh my gosh, I can do it too. So belief in your ability to do something. Y'all, if someone else is doing what you want to do and they're having success, then that just means they know something you don't know yet. So go learn it. Go figure it out. If they're being successful and you're not, it's not the products, it's not the company, it's not the comp plan, it's not your upline, it's not your sidelines, it's you. So go figure out what you need to change or learn or grow in order to move forward, because you can move forward. The next thing I would tell you is have that belief for your people. My biggest tip, you guys, I know y'all have big goals for this summer. Number one, you cannot build anything without belief. You must intentionally build it. You do that by reading testimonies. You do that by reading books. You do that by studying this industry, becoming a student of this profession. And when you have that belief, it will spill out. I'm shocked when people don't do this with me. I'm not kidding. I recruit like a machine, and if they come on and don't want to share with me, I'm baffled, literally baffled, because I believe so much in this opportunity. And that's what you have to do. You have to believe so strongly that what you have to offer as an opportunity is just important as what you have to offer as a product. And so I always, my biggest tip is get people off to a strong start. The number one way to retain your people is to get them sharing immediately. And so you do that by not using words like selling or business or silver. You do that by saying, oh my gosh, did you know that your account came with a referral link? And I hate for you to have to budget for your products. So what if I could help you use that referral link and help you get a few accountability friends to do this with you? I'm sure people have come to mind who suffer. If I could help you reach out and share with them, would you be open to doing that? And then hush. Listen for their objection. That's what you're wanting. You're wanting them to give you an objection, like, I don't want to be a salesperson, or I'm too busy, or whatever. That way you can continue that conversation. You can address that objection. I don't shy away from the objection. I want it. Tell me why you think you couldn't do this, because I can tell you a story of someone who had the same excuse who went and did it anyways. And so you just begin to start handling their objections while you're building their belief. And you always follow up the opportunity. Always. None of my girls said yes the first time I mentioned it. None of them. But I follow up about the business just like I do about the products. I just don't let up because I know this could save their marriage, this could save their house, this could save their family. I 100% believe it. So, belief, you have to build it. You have to share it, and then you have to get them sharing. I always say, hey, if I could give you a real cute Facebook post, would you toss it up for me and tag me in it? People want to help. They think they're being helpful. And then I'll say, listen, when your friends are interested, I'd love to do the sharing for you. That way you're taking the guesswork out of, well, what if somebody is interested? Then what would I even say? You're telling them, I'll do the heavy lifting while we get you started. Never tell them to go silver. Never tell them to cover the cost of their products. I'll just say, listen, we can use your referral link so you don't have to budget for your stuff. But I'm always casting big vision. I don't want a team of just silvers. I want to create leaders, and leaders will be created when they believe in their purpose. So it's really, really super important that you that belief spills over. So that's what I have to say to you guys. Go build your belief, share your belief, and then do not take no for an answer when it comes to this opportunity. Every person on your team needs to know how much money they can make with this incentive. Even if they weren't interested last month, tell them again. Tell them a story about someone who did earn it last month. And then just say, hey, listen, is now a better time? If I could help you, would now be better for you? And go there. So I hope that helps. I'm cheering for you guys for all of your dreams and goals. You can do it. Totally believe in you. And it has been so fun getting to chat with you guys. So see you later.